Good morning, judges. Ikaw. Today, I'd like you to imagine that you were my customers as I take you in a journey through the history of coffee, starting from where it all began. But first, let me introduce myself. I'm Alex, a proud shift supervisor and a coffee master representing 301 Starbucks Centennial. I always look back to where it all began, the very first step in my journey as a barista. And it was way back year 2022. I can still clearly remember that moment, the excitement, the nerves, and most of all, the incredible first impression that showed me just how amazing Starbucks really is. Starbucks is the birthplace in my knowledge to the world of coffee. They taught me that every single coffee bean matters and gave me a deep appreciation on our partners for their dedications to bring each into one, giving me a glimpse of birthdays of coffee. Now, this is Ethiopia. Ethiopia isn't just a place where the coffee is discovered. It is the place where the coffee became a language of its own, a language of love, connection, and centuries. These little beings carried with joy, challenge, comfort, and dependence, shared between people. My beloved customers, I want you to join with me as we dig deeper, more about the history of coffee in Ethiopia. So the longest enduring legend about the history of coffee goes all the way from the high mountains, highlands of Ethiopia and Kali. I go further. So one day, his goats started nibbling sweet red berries on the strange bushes. Then suddenly, they began to act unusually. They became wild and frisky. And out of Kali's curiosity, he also tried to eat the berries. And it proved that it really gives her new energy. That moment, right there, is where the story of coffee began. This coffee, the Starbucks Ethiopia, is a medium roast coffee to achieve a perfectly balanced, bright acidity and fruity characteristics, complemented by a smooth and rich, approachable body. It is a single origin coffee that was found in the coffee regions in Africa. This coffee grows in high lands or high mountains, rich volcanic soil, at often between the elevations of 1,500 to 2,200 meters. This coffee was processed in the way of wash processing method, where the water is used to remove the coffee seeds from the outer layer of the cherry. It presents a floral aroma and a juicy notes of a tangerine and lemon balm. So, my beloved customers, join me as we take a part of this story. At first, I use French press as my brewing method because it is simple, bold, and environment friendly. The French press creates a cup that is alive and full-bodied flavor. The brewing effects in the key aspects of coffee's aroma, flavor, acidity, and body. So what are those? First is the aroma. Aroma is the first thing you experience the coffee, even before tasting. It came from the coffee's oils and volatile compounds when it's brewed. Second is the body. The body is the weight of the coffee. It could be light, medium, or full-bodied coffee. The third one is the flavor. The flavor is an overall taste impression when you drink coffee. It combines on what you taste, but I understand that every person has a different perception of flavors. It's just on how the coffee plays on their palates. The last one is acidity. Acidity adds complexity. acidity is more on the tanginess or the citrusy level of the coffee. Without it, the coffee might taste dull or odd tastes. And also, the coffee is also guided by the four fundamentals of brewing, which is the proportion, grind, water, and freshness. For the proportion ensures the coffee that has the right strength and balance every time. So too little coffee is equals to a watery or weak taste coffee. Then too much coffee is equals to a strong or burnt flavor of coffee. Then the second one is the grind. The grind is the size particles of the coffee. It controls on how fast the water extracts its flavor. Third is the water. The water brings out the best flavors in coffee without burning or under-extracting the coffee. The last one is the freshness. The freshness keeps the aroma and flavor vibrant and prevents to have a dull or off tastes. We also have the four elements of coffee, which is the moisture, the heat, the light or sunlight, and the oxygen or the air. Okay, now we're gonna taste this coffee as we gonna take a part of this story. First thing we're gonna do is to smell this coffee to find its aroma. So I want you to get the cup of this coffee. Okay, for this cup, and cover it using our hands. We need to put more oxygen or air for us to truly smell this aroma. What do you smell? What do you think the aroma smells? Okay? So once we breathe it, there's something subtle, almost playful. It has a hint of a light pepper spice aroma that creates a sense of euphoria. Okay? For the next step is the slurp. Let us slurp this coffee and let the coffee spread in our mouth. And the more air you produce, the better it drinks. Okay? It has a notes of a dark chocolate with cream powder, smooth and rich, the tone between the layers of flavor. It is the beauty of a medium-bodied coffee. For our next stir, we're gonna find its acidity. It has a bright citrus appearance, thanks to the wash processing method for leaving it a clean and balanced finish. And for us to truly understand this coffee, I have prepared here a food pair that will surely complement our coffee. It is a lemon donut with a chocolate filling inside. Okay, so we're gonna do the skirt by skirt. The citrusy notes of a lemon and the chocolatey taste of the fillings in this donut highlights more the citrusy and chocolatey taste of this coffee. It gives me a glimpse of what Philippines means for this coffee. Now, we're gonna focus on the other part of the story. on this current situation. Our farmers faces a climate, economic, and social challenges across the parts or the regions of Ethiopia and around the world. Our farmers wake up before sunrise, thanks to crops increasingly threatened by the shifting climates, unstable prices, and fragile ecosystems, all while trying to earn a real living in the global industry. Often leaves them with only a small share of profit. But in response to that, companies like Starbucks, who partnered with Conservation International, helps our farmers by the means of the cotton practices, or the coffee and farmer equity that ensures that the coffee we buy and produce is ethically sourced. They help our partners through better prices, environmental protection, and social standards such as safe working condition and long-term sustainability. From the high mountains of Ethiopia to the coffee communities around the world, Starbucks always stand alongside with our farmers. And after this day, the incredible coffees in Ethiopia inspire many of us at Starbucks and reminds us the wonder of coffee, reminding the world that every cup of coffee carries a story, a history, and a connection that brings people together. We are the generations who carries the coffee story in Ethiopia to the new birth of generations, inspiring us, inspiring others, sharing the roots, and honoring our partners, sharing, inspiring others to see the beauty in every cup, every person, and every neighborhood at all times. Once again, I'm Alex, a ship supervisor and a coffee master representing 301 Centennial, and this is my cover story today. Thank you.